This is going to be a brief overview of the situation in Yemen. This documentary I had to reread. I read it some years ago, and I was trying to find some information on any updates to the situation. And let me tell you what I'm referring to outside of the brutal treatment of the people of Yemen. First of all, you know the Saudis, the so-called royals, they're Jews. They were put in position by the U.S. a long time ago, and they're Jews. That's why Saudi Arabia and Israel are real close. So what happens with these poor children in Yemen? They are trafficked to Israel, Saudi Arabia, and Egypt for labor, sex trafficking, and get this, tourist marriages. And what that is that they tell the parents of these girls that a rich American or rich Englishman is going to marry their daughter and they're going to get a big dowry. But what happens is they go through a temporary marriage, and then once the night or the week is over, once the American or UK or whoever or is it Israeli is done with the poor child, after a day or a week, they go ahead and dump him on the street, and I guess they're Yemenis, if it's not a Yemenis, if I'm not saying that right, I'm sorry. The kid from Yemen, the girls from Yemen, are illegally in the country, you see, at this point. And now they're of no use. They had a temporary marriage, which obviously is, it's legal, yet it's illegal when it's convenient. So what happens is that the children are deported back to their country, and usually with bare feet and ragged clothes and pregnant. And if that isn't bad enough, the sanctions that Obama and Trump, I cannot stress to everybody how completely heartless and evil the U.S. Jew Inc. is. They put sanctions on helping these people. Anybody donating money to feed the Yemen children, to help these victims of sex trafficking, what they call them TIPs, trafficking in person, at least in 2009. I was trying to get a comparison report. So what makes this, I don't know if I can say worse is the right word, but back in 2009, 50% of the fighting force in Yemen were children under the age of 18. 50%. Now, they have never found any Yemen soldiers or the Yemen government involved in any kind of child trafficking. Now let's see if we can all put two and two together. They traffic these children to Israel, Saudi Arabia, and this is always during their whatever religious holidays, if you dare to say they're religious, and Egypt. To be fair to Egypt, they say it's less often in Egypt, but whatever. Um, and geez, they're whose allies are these? These are whose allies? These countries are the U.S. allies, the UK's allies, you know, the EU's. I mean, who's going over there and temporarily marrying these children and then putting sanctions so they can't eat in NGOs or regular people like myself or you? If you wanted to pull out your credit card and give to a Yemen fund, they make it illegal. So if we put like these two and two together, what do we come up with? The most evil bastards in the world are handling, excuse me, I'm tired, this whole vile defilement of these children from A to Z. And the purpose of not feeding them, obviously, is they're not going to be around to tell their tale. When they grow up and realize that them being temporarily married is not the norm. And I stopped on this page. I mean, the report is really long, and I just wanted to give an overview for it. Let me just push forward here and see if I can give you a number if you actually really want to look this up and pull it up yourself. Okay, the cable. This particular cable is 10 SANNAA295. And gone it. I'm sorry, I'm just having a bad spasm. I think I mentioned that they had there was that lapse with the stomach cancer, so forgive me for not being professional. Here,